There are thousands of games released every year. Most are garbage, but some are masterpieces that somehow get ignored. Today, I'm showing you 5 games that deserve way more players than they have right now. The first slept on game I have to recommend is Elden Ring. This game is so underrated and nobody talks about it when it is one of the best games of all time, and I really think that— Alright, what I meant to say is that first up is Another Crab's Treasure. Much like other games on this list, this one is decently popular, but in my opinion, not nearly as popular as it should be. It's a Souls-like that takes place in an underwater world where you play as a crab trying to get his shell back from the ops. It is absolutely awesome. Basically, every part of this game is amazing. The music, for one, is buzzing. It's an insane mix of tropical and intense vibes that just mesh together so well. The graphics look great, not overly complicated, but very charming. The bosses are insane. I genuinely remember almost every boss I fought in this game because of how memorable they are. The characters are super fun to interact with, the story is playful and goofy, but also actually made me feel some emotion every now and then. The environments and levels are extremely well built and beautiful, the colors are vibrant, the costumes are cool, the mechanics are unique, and can you tell I like this game? I mean, the reason I'm labeling this game as slept on it is because I would recommend it to anyone who likes Souls-likes. Actually, scratch that, I would recommend it to almost anybody in general. It's hard to think of many flaws behind Another Crab's Treasure, and it's such an awesome experience. Icarus is an open-world survival game that's a lot like Rust or Ark, but never reached their levels of popularity, and I have no idea why. Maybe it's because you can't just hop into multiplayer servers and ruin other players' bases that they've spent countless hours on? I'm not sure, but still, don't sleep on Icarus. You can play with up to 7 other friends, and there is a lot to do. The main mode you can play is just going about doing missions where you drop into an open world, do a certain task, and get currency that you can use to unlock certain items. To be honest, I haven't really interacted with this mode much. What I mainly do is play the open world with my buddy, which has been so fun. There's so many different cool things to do and so many different ways to play the game that I have never been bored playing a single time. I've made great memories over a house burning down or my pet dying over and over again that were just hilarious. Be warned that this is a pretty complicated survival game with a ton of different stuff going on, but you get the hang of it as you go. Although I haven't enjoyed Icarus as much as I've enjoyed other survival games like Subnautica or The Forest, I still think that this game would be widely appealing to anybody who enjoys open worlds, especially open world survival games. Plus, I bought Icarus when it was on sale for $3, which was an absolute steal. Grab it with your friends and just enjoy the game. I have to recommend this indie game. I literally see almost nobody talking about it, but it's genuinely so fun. Haste. Haste is a game made by the same developers who worked on Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and it is a hidden gem. Have you ever watched Attack on Titan and wished there was a game that simulated using the ODM gear so you could zip around all fast like? Alright, maybe only the greasy anime weebs got that reference. Kidding, I am also an anime fan myself, and my favorite of all time is One Punch Man, thank you for asking. Anyway, maybe you've watched Spider-Man and wish you could be Spider-Man. Oh, wait, there are already multiple games that let you do that. Well, you get the idea. Haste is a roguelike in which you zip around through a bunch of different levels and have a great time using all kinds of different gadgets and abilities and stuff. I was following this game for a long time before it came out, and I have still been playing it since it came out a couple years ago. It's so high-paced, the story is interesting, the gadgets are so fun to use, I just love this game. You can either be super locked in and focus really hard, or just completely turn your brain off to relax when playing, and I love that about Haste. I would recommend this to anyone. Grab it, it's on sale so often. I'm a big fan of horror games. They genuinely scare the crap out of me, and I kinda love that. My favorite horror games of all time are The Forest and Subnautica, but those definitely aren't slept on horror games. They're just some of the biggest of all time. On the other hand, Darkwood is a masterpiece that I've barely seen get any recognition. Darkwood is a top-down survival horror game where you're trapped in a little town by a bunch of big old trees and have to solve the mystery of how things got so bad. I have so much to say about this game, but I'm going to avoid spoilers as much as possible. The story, characters, gameplay, music, and atmosphere are all sublime. Emphasis on the atmosphere. I don't think I've ever played a game with as strong an atmosphere as Darkwood. The game doesn't have any built-in jump scares, but just being in the world is absolutely terrifying. You explore and gather resources in the day, and at night you defend your base from creepy crawlies trying to get in. I genuinely can't explain how stressful it is to wait for them to get you. But when you survive the night and when that white screen fades in, it's the most relieving feeling you'll ever experience. You then even get a little bit of time where time stops so you can recuperate, which just adds to the feeling of relief that you survived. Whenever I judge a game by how good I think it is, emotion is one of the biggest factors I think about, and Darkwood will take you on an emotional roller coaster. I love this game so much, but you want to know what keeps it from being even better for me? It's genuinely too scary. Like, I can't play the game without crapping my pants. I completed it once, tried playing it a couple more times, and gave up because I was too scared. Okay, ladies and gents, let's talk about the finals. If you haven't heard about the finals, it's a competitive FPS game that features destructible environments, 3 different classes, a bunch of different guns and gadgets, and it doesn't seem that special, right? Wrong. This game is a masterpiece. It is my favorite FPS of all time, and it is completely left in the dust. When the game came out, it blew up in popularity, but slowly lost its player base over time. I genuinely have no idea why. I think the main issue with the game is that when updates come, they don't bring enough change to the game. For example, I remember many weapons that came with new seasons and were played for a week, then abandoned because they were just terrible. The spear, Cerberus, and bows are a great example of this. Even I get tired sometimes running the same build because there are major balance issues with a lot of them. Still, I really think you should give this game a try if you haven't already. I think it's the best FPS out there right now and so underrated. There are so many YouTube videos out there already talking about the fall off of the finals, so you can watch those if you want a more detailed explanation, but I promise you that you are missing out if you're not playing this game right now. It's made by the same people who made Arc Raiders, and it makes me so sad to see it not getting the attention it deserves. I think this game combines all the aspects of so many FPS games out there and does those things better. For example, it has a destructible environment like Siege, but it is so much more interactive. You can mix and match all types of guns and gadgets and make different team comps, and there are just so many unique and cool interactions that I discover every match even after putting hundreds of hours into the game. I love the finals. So guys, to be honest, whenever I thought of this video idea, I thought I was gonna have so many more games to recommend. Turns out it's only those 5. I just finished making this script and I have no idea how long this video is gonna be, but you know what, whatever. I got my point across. Grab those 5 games to have your funny bone tickled. They're super fire, and as always, my name is Division. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like and sub if you did. Have a great day, night, or evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.